Let's talk about buyer-broker agreements and showing agreements. Who must sign? This is important. You, the agent, and every buyer, no exceptions. If they're going to be on a contract and you are going to be showing them homes, they have to sign. What documents should you use? There are a couple options, so let's discuss them further. At a minimum, there's a pre-touring agreement. This basically gives you the opportunity to open the door and show them the house. It does not cover compensation, and additional documentation would be needed if you move forward with the relationship with the buyer for a longer time frame and if you move forward with writing an offer. The other two options are a showing agreement and exclusive buyer-broker agreement. These do allow you to open the doors and it covers compensation. So the pre-touring agreement lets you show homes. Compensation is not covered. An additional document will be needed. Showing agreement covers showing and compensation, and it allows you to write those offers. However, the exclusive buyer-broker agreement, it is the safest document to use. It's going to cover a longer time frame, and it allows you to show, outline compensation, and it gets you all the way through to the contract. When to obtain signatures. This is what is so important before any showing, in person or virtual. Yes, I said virtual. I have done the research to make sure you guys are going to be safe. Florida Association of Realtors says showing agreements are required for in-person or virtual showings. No tours without a signed agreement are allowed. Where to sign? So ideally, it'll be the most efficient if you go ahead and get it taken care of electronically before you ever meet that buyer at the property. However, we all know things happen and they don't always sign. So you want to bring hard copies to the showing because you are going to need that signature before you ever open the door. So our tip for you is always have blank copies on hand for that last minute showing or the difficult buyer. And why this matters? Because compliance is critical. This was a NAR rule effective August 17th, 2024. So therefore, there are now fines involved, there's legal risk, and if we're not documenting this, there's the potential for lost commissions. Here are some key points to keep in mind. Showing agreements are limited to property viewings. It's usually more specific to addresses versus an exclusive buyer-broker agreement can give you a broader area of coverage. Let's talk about compensation requirements. Basically, it can't be vague. You have to put a true percentage in that document. We can't let it say whatever the seller's going to offer. There can't be room for interpretation. You need a firm amount. Since this rule was implemented in 2024, our own office has already been audited to make sure that we had these documents properly filled out and readily available. You, the agent, can be fined if you do not have these documents saved. So one thing to keep in mind is that you need to always use the current, most up-to-date forms as well. Documentation is your best defense. Never let a single showing slip through the cracks. If you lose a buyer relationship because they refuse to sign the document, they're not someone you want to work with anyway, you need to be protected. And here's a couple reminders for you. Always have the forms, whether you have a tablet and are ready to have your buyer sign digitally in the yard of the home you're about to show, or you have paper copies on hand. And educate your buyers early about the expectations. If you address the agreements before you schedule the showing so it doesn't come in as a surprise, and this can prevent delays and misunderstandings. Preparedness and clear communication are the new currency of trust in real estate. Document everything.